It's a very brand new month and a brand new week. It's the first day into the month of April. That means that really we are already into the fourth month of the year. But then the question that should be in your mind is how far and how much have you achieved? That is in terms of the plans that you laid at the beginning of the year and maybe some of the things that you wanted to do. How much have you done and what have you done exactly is the question that you should be asking yourself out there as the viewer now. But the question is, still, if you haven't achieved, my concern to you is that still you can do more, and you really at the end of the day, you will still do very much and achieve what you haven't achieved as the days are still remaining very many. And really, as to the Christians, we are into the Holy Month and the Holy Week, really, which is also really still ongoing. And today is Easter Monday. I do understand that it's also a public holiday, but for us, the food patrols, we are already here to serve you. And really all you need to do is stay home and really wait and watch for what we are going to be giving you, because this is surely the show that definitely we are going to be also letting you know of what you want to know, because definitely if you want to know anything maybe happening in the region, maybe at the country level and internationally, definitely Kokoliriko live show is the place for you to be watching. And definitely that is also where we are going to be telling you what exactly transpired, maybe right from Friday, because it being a Monday, we stretch up to Friday in terms of also letting you know maybe what transpired, what happened in your know or in your absence, because surely even if still something happened and you knew about it, definitely we are going to be giving you that comprehensive analysis of it happening right here on the show. And it's also where we are going to be letting you know maybe some of the events that are coming ahead in the days. And remember, it being a Holy Week and also really being very, very much important week there for the Christians, I must say you have been urged to emulate the life of Jesus Christ even beyond Lent. And this is according to information from Archbishop Semogiriri, as he told Christians that really, if you are going to be observing maybe what God also did to Jesus, or maybe also what God did to you, the Christians, it shouldn't remain within the period of the Lent. Because now that the Lent has come to an end, I do understand for the Muslims, they are still continuing with the Ramadan period. I want to say these months are actually very, very much important in the lives of the Christians, and it is why it is very, very much important for you as a believer to always abide by these days here. And that is one thing also really as we want to start our discussions with. And the Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Semogiriri, has asked believers to emulate example set by Jesus Christ, and urged Christians to continue behaving well as being the norm during the 40 days of the Lent period. That means that really as the Lent has now gone, it shouldn't be also an end for you, because really you should also continue, that is to emulate the character, and we want to see the good character and the good behavior which was exhibited by you, the Christians and the Muslims, during this holy month of March, where we did witness also really the Lent period and the Ramadan period coming at the same time. And really, I must say, we hadn't witnessed a lot of criminality, a lot of criminal activities, except some few cases where we did see at least police also really coming out to also really ensure that they do the sanity cleaning. And that is one thing also we did witness in Central Division, where police is actually undertaking the cleaning bit of it. Because really you realize today that these cases of phone snatching and other criminal activities still continue to be on, despite the several initiatives in place. And you realize that it being also really a holy month, some people, for them, they do not want to sort of know. We see them stealing using these motorcycles, and that is why police has been able to also really come out clearly to condemn and also really tackle this criminality that is on the rise. And that is one reason so that the Archbishop also did ask the Christians and maybe those who had observed the holy month and those who were the criminals who were also really deviating from tendencies of these criminal activities, also to really ensure that they also really deviate from those tendencies there. And that is why they have been urged, that is to also really continue emulating Jesus Christ even beyond Lent. And Archbishop Semogiriri led Easter Mass at Rubaga Cathedral in Kampala and was assisted by that Papal Nuncio to Belgium, Archbishop Augustine Kashuja, a Cathedral Administrator Father Achilles Mayanja, a new pastoral coordinator Father Dr. Ambrose Buangato from St. Mbaga Seminary Gaba, Chancellor Father Pius Male Sentuba, and others who assisted him during these prayers here. And the day was graced by State Minister for Higher Education, that is John Christopher Muyingo, National Platform Party President Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, Rubaga Mayor Zaki Maula Mbaraze, Honorable Council of Eswatini Kwailini Bwamine, MP Aloysius Mukasa, and other dignitaries who actually did turn up for these prayers there. And while preaching at the cathedral that was full to capacity, Archbishop Semogiriri urged the congregation against killings and said it was a pity for a youth to get a gun and shoot his grandfather recently, as that's something also we did see happening there, and really realize that the issues of the gun use have often continued to go on. But really, what can we do to avert issues of gun use on really illegal people here? Because sometimes you realize that these guns are being used, but really the perpetrators are never brought to book, because sometimes we fail to identify them, but really once we also identify them, what do we do to them? I think issues of guns continue to go on despite the necessary, the several interventions government has put in place, where we have seen the UPDF becoming very, very much active in terms of looking for those criminals who have guns. But then the question is that why is it that the issues of gun use continue to go on, and what can be done? Definitely that is something also really you should be able to ask yourself as the viewer out there. But I believe there's more that needs to be done, because as government, when people continue to die of these guns, then definitely we ask ourselves, where do these guns come from? And I believe you out there as the viewer also should be asking yourself, because where these guns come from? Because if the gun is not really being misused on you, it could be misused on your relative at one time. So that is one reason you must be concerned as a citizen, as somebody who loves this country, because these issues of the guns. And in Arua City, we have been told that these guns also sometimes find their ways into this region through the porous border points. And remember, recently we did have a councillor and 3 other people from Ivu division also really being arrested with a gun there, and this was an AK-47 and ammunition. And police actually really also did come out clearly to confirm and really also talk about that issue there before he was paraded. That is before the courts of law. But really you wonder sometimes, as a person who is honorable and as an honorable member of the community, you are seen with a gun, then definitely you are going to be living in that position to serve, maybe serve in jail. And then instead of serving the people, that is really how unfortunate it is. But really, I believe, if not found guilty, then definitely we may also really be seeing him released there. But really, if found guilty, I believe, definitely he has to serve maybe also really the sentence, because we have been told that this gun was misused, that is in the other parts of Central Ivu Division, for instance, Nantuporaka ends, and the neighboring parts of Democratic Republic of Congo. This is where this gun was being misused, maybe in terms of doing robbery and other bad activities. But thankfully, he has been apprehended, and that is one reason also really want to commend the police and other security agencies, because according to information we had, this man had handed the gun over to police, saying he actually caught the gun from other people. He found the gun with other people, and that he was able to also really fight those people there and also really remove the gun from them. But really, I don't think that statement was really very, very right there. But I believe police will also do its work, and he congratulates Ugandans upon reaching Easter Sunday and asked them to continue as they were in the Lent season. So I think that is one thing also really I want to say to the Christians. We need not to also really stop with the issues of observing the Holy Month here, but rather we have to continue with the Holy Month and continue doing good things. And some of further urge the faithful to reflect and draw inspiration from the example from the risen Christ to align their behavior and his beliefs. That means that really if you are going to be copying an example from Jesus Christ, definitely we may not also really lag behind in terms of also really our behaviors there, and our behaviors will really be very, very much good there. And he also expressed worry that false statements attributed to him, that is circulate on social media, and leave him puzzled, because of really he also realized that during this month here on Saturday, I was able to see a number of Christian faithfuls really moving on the roadside carrying the cross. And I must say, this was something that I would have loved to see each and every Sunday, because you realize that people were very, very holy, people were loving each other, people were really enjoying moving with the Holy Cross here. But unfortunately, those who would also really want to take everything for jokes, for those who want to become comedians, I don't know why, but really I was also able to see them also really doing their comedy, making fun jokes which are not to be funny. We're really carrying the Holy Cross here and there. But really I must say that those are things that we need to condemn, because that is a holy month, and really people were emulating serious things. And I must say I really loved what I saw, because people were able to also really carry the cross and enjoy moving with it here and there. We had stop centers where people were crying. Even in the Jumani district, it was really massive, where we did see the people there being asked to really also use the month also really to reflect on loving one another, because today you realize that people do not love each other. That is why we are witnessing tendencies of land wrangles, where we're witnessing tendencies of killings here and there. So I believe this 1 month also really for people to also really use them very, very well to reflect on their actions is very, very much important. And at the end of the day, we may also really see them working very, very well there, if at all they also reflect from what Jesus Christ did. And Minister Muyingo said the government he serves is committed to fighting poverty, but stressed that everyone has a role to play in this effort. That means that really, if at all we are to fight corruption or maybe also fight poverty amongst ourselves, you must first of all start fighting it within yourself, because really if you do not also really fight poverty from your reach, definitely you may also really find very, very difficult there. And he encouraged the congregation to take advantage of various programs established by the government in place to really tackle poverty there. For instance, the PDM, which is already in place, the Myoga and the rest, which were also really there to ensure that the poverty levels within the country are brought down. That really emphasize the corruption and other vices are not only contrary to the teachings of Christ, but also hinder spiritual and impede community development. And definitely that is very right, because if at all you are going to be very, very much involved in corruption, I must say you are going to be finding it very difficult. At the end of the day, that would also really not be very, very much well for you there. And he went on to address the issue of corruption, which he believes is pervasive throughout society. And really that's something also really we did see there. Muyingo went on to warn Ugandans to drive responsibly, saying on Saturday, I was coming from Nakasongola, I saw accidents, and really, which we also really want to really echo our voice on the same. Today you realize that so many accidents are also occurring on our roads, not because sometimes our roads are very bad, but I believe it's also individual responsibility at times where we are seeing our people driving very, very much errantly on these roads without minding of the other road users, which is really very, very unfortunate. And that's also one thing that really could be causing accidents on these roads here. And he went on to address the issue of corruption, which he believes is pervasive. Yes, really the issue of also corruption is something that we need to also fight towards, because definitely you realize that the issue of corruption also is one that is affecting so many people. And really corruption and accident, really these are two vices that need to be tackled, in my own opinion, which we really also need to work towards, because these are things, if at all we work towards together, we are going to be addressing them. Because really today corruption is slowly biting up the society and is also eating the society very slowly. Then former Katikiro Joseph Muli, who delivered Kabaka Mutebi's remarks, called upon Ugandans to continue joining hands in the fight against HIV and AIDS, which is still a disease that is still common with us. So that means that really we have to take the precautions and the protection measures. For instance, those who are faithful, let's remain faithful to our partners. And for those who are also really who feel that we cannot be faithful, let's also use the protective measures, for instance, the condoms, and also really ensuring that we are tested, because really HIV still remains a disease that is really very, very much bad and eating up our society. And for those who have already contracted disease, let's remain on the ARVs, because definitely there's still life. Because if you contract the disease, there's still more life that you really have to need to live towards, rather than also really giving yourself stigma there, which is really very, very bad. So I think for those who have also really contracted the disease, we say continue also really observing what the doctors are telling you. That would also really ensure that you live longer. So I think that is one reason also we need to also really talk about the Holy Month. Really, these were people important post messages during this also important week here. And Chagulanyi called upon Ugandans to renew their faith and forgive each other in the spirit of Archbishop Samuel Gerere's Easter message. So I think that he also needs to first of all take that message himself, where we are also seeing a lot of fights between his political party there. And I believe if at all he takes this message very seriously, we are also going to be witnessing new leaders working now together, instead of also really pinpointing each other here and there. That is something really we also did see happening there. And he went on to console the Mayanja family upon the death of, that is, their elder brother, who actually passed on. That is also during the weekend. And according to information we also did receive, Humphrey Mayanja, one of the brothers, or in fact the elder brother to the chameleons and the wizards of this world, also really did pass on. That is on Saturday, after battling an illness for quite some period of time. And really we also say, may his soul continue to rest in eternal peace, because definitely this man, according to information we have also got, he has been very, very much instrumental in uniting the brothers in terms of also really making sure that they work together here and there. And that is also one thing that we are going to be remembering him for. And so many also people have been eulogizing him, and really we did see a lot of messages pouring. That is also really eulogize this gentleman who did pass on over the weekend on Saturday there also really. And I must say, we continue to mourn and pray with the people of the Mayanja family and those fans, and really also those who knew him as we say, may his soul continue to rest in eternal peace, because really we come from him, and definitely shall we also really go back to him. And that is one thing also really we are always told, because we come from dust, because that is something also really we believe that we come from dust, and we shall also really return back to him. That is one reason also really when death hits you, really you do not have to take it very serious, sometimes very, very much serious, because that is the time that he signed with his God, and really that is also why God has called back him to be with him. And that is one reason also really for those of you who have also lost your life, your loved ones over the weekend, we say may their souls continue to rest in eternal peace, because really we did see the Mayanjas losing their elder brother there. And moving away from that, still on Easter messages, Museveni calls for unity and corruption efforts. And that is something really we did see from the president also really there in his Easter message. And in his Easter message to the nation, President Yoweri Museveni emphasized the importance of emulating, the importance of really the teachings of Jesus Christ in fostering and combating corruption in Uganda. And speaking from his residence, that is in Rwachituru, alongside the First Lady, the First Lady, Janet Museveni conveyed his wishes, that is for joyous Easter celebrations to all Ugandans, particularly the youth, as really very, very much important there for those who also really wish to reflect on the life of Jesus Christ there, because it is very, very much important for those of you who may also really be wondering of what really to do, because really if you emulate the life of Jesus Christ, you are going to be avoiding yourself from several instances, and that is one reason it is very, very much important for people to also really emulate the lifestyle of Jesus Christ there. And reflecting on the sermons delivered during Good Friday services, he commended religious leaders for echoing the fundamental Christian teachings and really loving one another, which is also really something that we need to also really ensure that we talk about, and addressing the scourge of corruption. Somebody underscored the government's commitment to combating the vice while urging citizens to hold the elected leaders accountable. That is also something really also we did see there, because those people that you vote are definitely those maybe whom you thought could also really echo out your voices very, very loudly there. So there is also need for you to hold them accountable instead of asking them, here you promised us that you're going to be doing this, but you didn't do it here. Where did we fail? Definitely that is something really we need to know. But really with that, let's first head into the first commercial break of the show as we bounce shortly from now. Take a look as we come back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
on all 52 games live only on Star Times. Star Times brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your Star Times subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. Star Times, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Commercial break. This is still the Kokoliriko live show, and we're yet continuing with you up the hour of 9 a.m. And in case you're just joining us right now, please, you are most welcome aboard. And really, we say this is Happy Easter, really Easter Monday, as we celebrate the Holy Week also in style there. And really, we are beginning off your week. And I believe also this, it being a Holy Week, also maybe Easter Monday, we are going to be having a good week throughout the year. Because really, if you start maybe the week in a good style, definitely it will also really be ending for you in a good style. And that is one reason also really the Easter celebration is very, very much important. For the Christians who will be going to church, we expect you to pray for us, and really so that the week also really goes in style there, so that we also really get a lot of money, also maybe also get a lot of blessings, because your prayers may also really work for us in terms of getting the blessings, because we need the blessings. Definitely there's nobody out there who does not need the blessing. And also really that is one reason also really I must also call upon you now who are going to church to pray. And for the Muslims who are fasting, we must also really pray for each other, so that the month, which is really, as we are remaining with us, about 9 days to, that is wind up the month of Ramadan, about 8 days in fact, a week, that is plus some days also really, to see that the month of Ramadan also really comes to an end. But really, how are you maybe doing in terms of also really praying to God, and also in terms of also asking, maybe repenting for God to forgive your sins, is also another question that you should be asking yourself as the viewer out there. But really that brings us to the discussion. And earlier on we are discussing the President's Easter message, where he did call upon the clergy also really to ensure that they speed up the fight against corruption and poverty, where he also commended that is the clergy for also really ensuring that they fight the vices of that is corruption, which to me is also really very, very much key there. And really that is what brought us maybe to the end of the break. And really as we bounce back, we still have lots more to give you when it comes to the issues of also the events happening, that is right from the region and also really maybe nationally. And that is one reason also really I must say it is very, very much important for you to also really be part of the show. And now moving away from West Nile, maybe also to county level, now let's head to Hoima. Hoima Deputy RDC arrests 12 women over 7 loan is also another story that we are seeing on the papers this morning. And Hoima Deputy Resident District Commissioner Mr. Michael Kiakashari has ordered arrest of 12 women, that's for alleged default in paying back entrepreneurship program loan. And remember, government has put in place a number of initiatives to see that the citizens are supported by giving them the different programs that at the end of the day aim at elevating poverty and also really ensuring that earn themselves a lot of money is there from also what government is doing. Because really you realize that today a lot of government programs are just put into waste like that. For instance, the PDM, where now I believe if at all people also to be arrested in West Nile sub-region, we would also see a number of them being arrested because some of these people have also misused the money and they think the money is just to be eaten again. That is why it is very, very much unfortunate for me really to see that the money which is given to you to also really ensure that you benefit and also really elevate your life out of poverty, you just misuse it like that. We really, I must say, it is very, very much unfortunate there. And 12 women from the groups of Kiburwa to Kohelwa, Kitoba rice producers and Kibahire farmers took a total of that is shillings 50 million from the OWEP really funds there, which is really meant for Uganda Women Entrepreneur Program. That is the OWEP program, really where they actually borrowed this money here and they did not refund the money. And it's established that Kiburwa, the Kohema group, we are given that is shillings 9 million, but I've also really only paid that is 2 million, that is since 2018 there. And really Kitoba rice producers received that is shillings 6 million, but I've only paid 2 million. And also since have never also really been also ensuring that they pay this money. And while following up on why the groups were not paying the funds, the Hoima Senior Development Officer Joyce Kabatalia was shocked out at how it's of to learn that really that most of the defaulters were not ready to pay back what they call a token of appreciation from Museveni, and that is the negative perception that is really also being taken by most people in terms of also really these government programs. And I believe that is why many of them have been failing, because people think that really this money is given to them just to be eaten, which is not the reality. But really, I must say, people need to desist from tendencies of just borrowing this money and not refunding them back. Because this, yes, government, as much as government wants to help you, it is first of all you to help yourself, because really you must have also really ensured that when you are borrowing this money here, you had the right to maybe ventures. Maybe where this money, maybe where you got borrowed the money and really failed to pay, but really for reasons that could be genuine. For instance, maybe the disaster could have hit you, but and really that would also really negatively affect you. But really where you borrowed the money and just eat it, it becomes really very, very much unfair. And where people think that is a token of appreciation, I believe that is something really government needs to take up serious. And that is also really something that needs to be viewed with the rest of the government programs. For instance, the PDM, if you move to also really some of the rural settings, you realize that people have also really borrowed this money and they think the money just to be eaten, and they think that this money government has borrowed it to them for them just to really eat it. And that is why it is very, very much unfortunate for people who are really said to be poor, because today you realize that we are still stringing that is within the poverty line. And that is why government is coming up with several of these initiatives to support us. And really once we also really start misusing the money, and then definitely that becomes very, very much unfortunate for us. And that is one reason also really I want to say we need to desist from, because most of the times government is coming up with these initiatives because government knows that we are not really okay, we are not doing well, we are vulnerable. First, we are poor. That is one reason also really this money is being given to also really ensure that we also really tap into them. That is one reason. So now, for those who borrow the money, really we need to ensure that we take this money seriously. And the caution beneficiaries of Uganda, of government's development program, the web, to also really ensure that they not take things for granted and also really refund this money is very, very back there. So I think this is a revolving fund, just like the PDM, the web is also really there to support the women. And today we have also other initiatives, for instance, the GROW project, which is going to be targeting, that is the women entrepreneurs. So we not necessarily expect people to take this money is just like what they think maybe is theirs. Rather, they have to ensure that they pay this money back, which to me would be very, very good there. And the 12 women, we are detained at Hoima police station with the RDC saying they will only let them free after paying this money back on a specific period of time that is also to be granted to them. And that is one reason also really I want to say we need to ensure that we pay this money back, because if that is not the case, then definitely we may ensure that we also get this money or get arrested. And really that is why it is very, very much important, but really also to pay this money. And really with that we come to another short commercial break as we bounce back shortly. My name is FARISH Majid, please stay tuned.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
right, welcome back from that short commercial break. We are here to continue with the Kokoliriko live show, and this is really the place for you to be watching each and every mornings from Mondays to Fridays, starting right from the hour of 7 a.m. and really heading to that is 9 a.m. And when we started the discussion, we were discussing a lot of issues happening right maybe from Friday, and this is where we did also really do a lot of the talking on that is the Easter messages, because it being really a Holy Week. Today is Easter Monday, where we also really be witnessing that this is a holy month and the Holy Week, which is really also really did come in maybe also which brought an end, that is to the Lent period, which now clergy are saying needs not to be left behind. For those of you who have been doing good things, we are saying that does not only need to remain, that is with the month, and really does not also really be maybe for those who have reformed, we expect to be also remaining reformed there till the end, because really today, with the issues of a lot of issues, maybe bad evil activities happening here and there, corruption, theft, definitely those maybe who had been doing this and now they are reformed, we do not expect you to go back, because really this is one reason also really it is very, very much important. And before we did go for the break, we are discussing the issues concerning the arrest of the 12 women who are detained at Hoima police station, with the RDC saying they will not only they will let them out only if they maybe also sign commitment to paying back this money within a specific period of time that's going to be granted to them, because really we have also been told by the people, or at least a total of 12 women that is from Hoima district, we arrested by the RDC over the weekend for not also really paying back, that is the shillings, that is 12 million for, that is to the web funds really which they borrowed there but failed to refund the money back. Now we are also seeing that they are now being arrested. And moving on from that, now let's head into politics, and now starting it off with FDC, where FDC split looms as Katonga faction gears up for a new political party. Definitely that's also something we are seeing there, but really, where will this put the Forum for Democratic Change party at? That is also something somebody should be asking him or herself out there, because then you realize that a lot of maybe this formation of these political parties is going to cause that is divisionism of votes, because really some of the voters that are inclined to we are inclined to a political party for different maybe purposes, because sometimes people come to these political parties because they want, maybe they have been following an individual, and where we also seeing maybe also really them maybe following, that is maybe the leaders maybe who are affiliated to Katonga, they are going to solely follow them to the new political party, and at the end of the day we are going to be seeing vote divisionism, and I believe this is going to cost the political party more, and where we may also really see FDC failing more there, and maybe in terms of also getting more numbers there, it would also really become very, very difficult for them there, because today really where we're expecting these political parties to reunite, and really we are seeing a lot of tensions, which to me is very, very much unfair and really very, very unfortunate, because for those believers, maybe those who would wish to see these political parties also thrive through, may not love whatever they are seeing, because formation of a new political party, I believe, is not something that really these people need to do, because at the end of the day, that is also something really it's going to affect them, and a potential fracture within Uganda's political opposition party. The Forum for Democratic Change is on the horizon. The Katonga faction, led by the founder of FDC, Dr. Colonel Kizza Besigye, is actively preparing to launch a new political party. That is according to information we are receiving. And according to Katonga on the offensive, Katonga is reportedly deploying coordinators across the country to establish party structures, and the recruit members is also something that we are seeing here. And the primary target remains, that is the loyal supporters of Besigye, whom we are going to be also seeing crossing maybe with their leader there to formation of a new political party. I don't know how it's going to be called, but when the right time comes, we shall be able to let you know maybe how this political party is going to be named. And at the end of the day, that was something we must say we are going to be following, because for be letting you know at the end of the day, and maybe how it will greatly impact on that is 2026 elections, because really 2026 is not very far, and really we may also really see the formation of a new political party, where we may also really see these two. Are they going to be taking the same color? That is something also really I do not know, but really we shall be able to be following and letting you know that at the end of the day. And they're aiming that for a May 2024 launch, that is for their new political identity. That is really some few months ago now, as we are following. And really, Najana Kumbi concerned about this. That is something also really we need to know. And the rival Najana Kumbi faction, led by Patrick Amuriat, appears unfazed by Katonga's efforts, and they dismiss it as an attempt that to dissolution memos, and claim that it has no significant impact. That's on the overall struggle. And Najana Kumbi asserts that the position as the true inheritors of FDC legacy and expresses no worries about losing their existing members. So that is something also we are seeing on the papers and this morning. And the best factor, and really somebody may be asking, is this going to be having an impact? Definitely yes. And the Katonga strategy hinges, that's on the enduring popularity of Kizza Besigye. They believe his influence will attract, that is, the defeated members and the dedicated members, supporters to the new party. And Birigwa Semujunganda, a prominent figure in Katonga, confidently declares the faction as something really, as they are going to be also really also seeing their party growing there. And that's something also really how maybe the issues of this political party is concerned, and we shall be able to sort of let you know maybe how it will proceed. And an uncertain future, the effectiveness of Katonga recruitment drive is ultimate impact on the opposition landscape remains to be seen, and the formal split within the FTC could lead weakened opposition force, potentially hindering the ability to change. That is something also we are also following here. And as all the eyes on May 2024, as the May deadline also approaches, Uganda's political scene could experience that a significant shift. The story will continue to follow developments within the FDC and the potential emergence of a new political party, which we shall also really be letting you know there. Why it is very, very much important for you also out there to be also watching us, because we are going to be keeping you informed. And that is one reason also really you must also keep watching Western television. And moving away from that, police to sell IDO, that is shillings 28 billion aircraft. That is something we did witness over the weekend, where police came out that they're going to be selling this aeroplane following the concerns that it could not land on most of the fields, because really it needs tarmac grounds, and they have also just underutilized this aeroplane. And that is one reason they want to solely sell it. And the police have said they're in the process of selling off, that is the 9-seater 5XPEF stroke P180 Piaggio Avanti bought in 2019 for shillings, that is 28 billion. On Friday, police led journalists to be guided tour of the aircraft. Sorry. Police spokesperson Friend Nanga said despite having the capacity of remaining airborne, that's to 8 hours, while providing aerial support, the aircraft has failed to achieve any positive outcome since its acquisition. That is something we did see there, and that is the reason as to why they want to sell off this aircraft. Then he explained that after realizing this, the matter was reported to the Internal Affairs Minister, who gave no objection to the disposal of the unserviceable aircraft and procurement of new compatible helicopter. And police is going to be selling this aircraft, and they believe that is also one reason they want to sell it on. Police, however, dismissed claims that the aircraft has already been disposed of and in silence. And that, really, that is something also we are seeing in papers. Enanga explained that the process of the aircraft is going to follow the PPDA process, and that's something also really we are going to be maybe waiting to see, and who exactly will purchase that aeroplane there. And really that is one reason. So you must stay tuned to watching Western Kokoliriko as we let you know of who exactly will purchase this airplane there. And really with that, we come to another short commercial break as we bounce back shortly from now. Welcome back from that short commercial break, and really we are yet to continue with the show, and so many issues are continue to happen and surface on the media, and definitely this is what we shall also be letting you know on the show, and that is one reason also you need to remain stay tuned to watching Western television. And moving on, Lands Minister Judith Nabakova has directed leaders in all districts to register government land and process title to safeguard it from land grabbers. And really that is something also really we want to say is one that needs to be implemented, because today you realize that so many of government also land has been said to be robbed and taken over by some unscrupulous individuals, and sometimes we also see people selling government land, and that is one reason also now the call is, to me, very, very much important to see to that also really these issues also of land grabbing are addressed. And Nabakoba made the directive while handing over, that is more than 400 freehold titles that the residents of Kanyahura and Sanga sub-counties in Chirura district under the systematic land abduction and certificate program funded by the World Bank. This is where we did see the 4,000 freehold land titles also being shared there. And she said the chairperson, chief administrative officer, COW, and area land committees and also district land board of Chirura are directly responsible to ensure that they identify all titled land governments, also untitled land governments, to be registered. And that is one reason also really want to see why also people need to also really register their lands, because today you realize that also people are also taking advantage of these government lands, where other people have been seen selling these government lands as their own property, which to me is really very, very much unfortunate, because at the end of the day, really, this land would also really be used by the government to benefit other people. But really, once we see other corrupt individuals taking advantage of this government land, then definitely it becomes very, very much unfair, because really you realize that today this government land really, which is there in place, people can take advantage of it. Some people claim it's actually theirs, and they continue to sell it and confidently sell it, and fraudulently also we have seen at times people also really taking advantage of these government lands. And that is one reason also really people need to ensure that they desist from these tendencies of also really taking advantage of the government land there, because at the end of the day, if people really continue to take advantage of that, then definitely we may also really see people taking people also really misusing, also at the end of the government losing a lot of monies in the hands of these unscrupulous persons here. And that is one reason also the area land committees, for instance, up to various sub-county levels, and I believe really that is one reason also really people need to take advantage of these government projects, for instance, to register these lands. And that is one reason. So I want to call upon now each and every Ugandan out there to interest themselves in terms of also really protecting this government land here, because today really these government lands, you realize that these are lands that really sometimes are idle, they have nothing maybe put on them, but they belong to the government. And really where people have also really been, maybe these lands could be given to investors to actually develop these lands. Also that would also really bring employment, maybe employment opportunities for other people. But really once we see people also really misusing these lands, then definitely it becomes very, very much unfortunate, because at the end of the day really want to see government also really realizing its dreams, that in terms of also really benefiting the citizens, because really these lands also need to benefit the citizens. But where we are seeing people taking advantage of these lands, then definitely it becomes very, very much unfortunate, because really you realize that a lot of issues are being said about this here and there. In most cases, over time, we have seen people really taking advantage of these government lands, which to me is very, very much unfair. You realize that at the time in Kampala, we did see a lot, somebody also really selling government land, where we did see also this land being given to a private investor, and without the consent of the government, which to me I seriously say is very, very much unfortunate there. And that is one thing also I want to say now. We need to put our voices on, because at the end of the day, if that is not done, so then definitely we also really going to be seeing also really maybe something very, very much happening here. And that is something also really we want to say now. Also, we need to ensure that we protect ourselves against. And at the end of the day, it is also really going to be very, very much important for us there. And really, as we also really celebrating now death has hit the UPDF fraternity. That's something really we are receiving this morning here, and it is with, according to information we are receiving from the brigadier, that is Brigadier Felix Kulaije, the defense spokesperson. It is really, we are also seeing one of the colleagues also dying here, and this message also says it is with deep sorrow, it is with deep sadness and heavy hearts in the Uganda Post Defense Forces. You inform the public of the untimely death of, that is Brigadier Stephen Chigundu, the deputy commander of the UPDF Air Forces, which occurred in the evening, that's on the 31st of March 2024 at his home, that is Nentebe. And Brigadier Stephen Chigundu was well all day until the evening of yesterday, and when he met his death, and really that is already at in his bathroom. And that is something also really we are seeing this morning here, where one of the colleagues of the UPDF is also really said to have lost his life. The UPDF fraternity and Uganda Post Defense Forces, Air Forces will miss Brigadier Chigundu at this time, as when his services were most needed to continue strengthening that is our Air Force capabilities, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. That is a message we are seeing from Felix Kulaije there concerning the death of also really one of the colleagues of the UPDF there. And I believe really that is also something really happening, very, very shocking and very, very sad for us this morning. as the people of this country, because the Air Force also is one that really needs support, because sometimes also our Air Force really with maybe the limited support and maybe also the limited numbers, where when we lose one colleague, definitely that also really becomes very, very much difficult for us to replace there. That is certainly something we are seeing this morning. And moving away from that, Kokoliriko calls for accountability on size and cost of Ugandan government is also another story that we are seeing on the past this morning. And Buganda Kingdom Kokoliriko, also known as the Prime Minister, Mr. Charles Peter Mayiga, has tasked the citizens of Uganda to focus more on demanding answers to some of the most pressing challenges, including the bloated political leadership class, and that takes a big percentage of taxpayers' money. And while addressing a congregation during the Easter Sunday, that is at Our Lady of Fatima Cathedral, that's in Kasana Luero Diocese in Luero District, the Kokoliriko castigated the voters for wasting a lot of time, that's on useless political demands, instead of the pressing challenges that could be draining the country's resources. And that's something also really we did see the Prime Minister, that's of Buganda Kingdom, also really making his remarks there. Mr. Mayiga rallied Ugandans to celebrate the Easter season, which is a very important day in the Christian faith calendar, and really also by reflecting on the country challenges with the view of finding answers. That is something we are reflecting very, very much on this morning. And Kasana Luero Bishop Lawrence Mukasa in the Easter message rallied the faithful to desist from acts that is of selfishness, because Jesus Christ symbolizes love and peace for humankind. That is something we are seeing on this papers this morning, and we say also really want to see maybe the same also really being practiced here and there, and then people who are going to be also really maybe asking for something from themselves, maybe from the politicians that were asking maybe let's also really desist from those tendencies, because they realize that a lot of the politicians, while they are driving, they as much as they want to wave, but the speed in which they are driving is very, very much terrible. Where they see the voters, they just wave, and really they cannot stop, because once you stop, people are going to be asking for something small, which is really a very, very much challenge, a great challenge. So I believe these are issues that need to be taken seriously, and really as people of this, maybe this country, instead of also making these simple demands from maybe the leaders, really let's ensure that we also really talk about these issues that Kabaka, the Prime Minister of Buganda Kingdom, is reflecting on, that at the end of the day would also really be very, very much important there. So I believe that is also something that we need to talk about, because really this is something also really we also cannot leave out, and really that is something really, if I believe we take seriously, then definitely we may also really see our people also really moving away from the poverty line that we have been known for, which to me is the way to go. And moving away from that now, let's head to Rwanda, where 7 parties back Kagame for 4th term, and really that's something we are seeing happening on the papers right now. And really 2 of the oldest and political parties in Rwanda, that's the Liberal Party and the Social Democratic Party, have endorsed Rwanda Patriotic Front, that is candidate Paul Kagame, in the July presidential race. And this is something also really we are seeing here. And the 2 joined 4 smaller political parties which are already in coalition with the ruling RPF, really Ideal Democratic Party, Democratic Union of Rwanda People's Party, Prosperity and Solidarity Party. Also really these are some of the parties that really are in Rwanda that have really backed, that is Kagame for the 4th term, and Rwanda Socialist Party is also another, and endorse, while all these are strategizing to endorse, that is the Rwanda president incumbent for the 4th term, really also in these elections. And PL and the PSD are historical allied to the ruling party, and their leaders have served in different government positions. For example, President of Liberal Party Donatil Mukabalisa is also the Speaker of Parliament, that is also really in Rwanda there. While announcing the party's endorsement of Kagame Foreign Minister Vincent Biruta, the PSD president said it is a good thing that the President Kagame acknowledges and also considers ideas from other political parties. That is also really something we are seeing here. And formed in 1991, a year after RPA, the military wing of RPF had launched, that's a military war against President Juvenal Habyarimana's government, and PSD has also enjoyed, that is a healthy alliance with the RPF. This is something that maybe if you want to know about these political parties, and both PL and the PSD have had 4 chances also of fielding presidential candidates, that in the 2003 elections, 2010 elections, and 2017 and 2024 elections. So really that's something also we are also seeing here. And Prosper Hingiro contested for president, that in 2010, and really on the PL ticket, while PSD nominated, that is Jean Damansira, also his presidential candidate. That's also something we are seeing on the paper this morning. And President Kagame Ghana, that's 93.08% of the vote, with that is Ntau Kirayo getting that's 5.5%, and PL's Hingiro having that is 1.3% also in the elections there, and they both conceded defeat. and continue to work with the governments elect. So I think that is something also really we did see happening there, and I believe that is something which is a good gesture, where when people concede defeats, and they also really have to work together. That is also for the good cause of the country, because really if you work with your opponent, at the end of the day, you are going to also be bringing new ideas that will also really, that if once also really taken serious, we may also really see development coming in through there. And these new parties exerted internal pressure on the ruling RNDA party to further open up on the political space and also provide for, that is, rule of law and advancement of democracy and human rights in the country there. And according to Tito Rutaramena, one of the founding members of the RPF, it helped that cause there. We are political parties that exert political pressure from inside. That is something we are seeing on the papers. Maybe somebody also really want to know about these political parties. That is why it is very, very much important for people to also really ensure that they talk about these issues here. And I believe if at all this is taken seriously, that would also really, we may also really see a lot of issues, maybe also the election of Rwanda getting very much interesting there, because for them, as they are preparing to head into their polls hours, will also really be bouncing very much soon. And that is why we're also seeing maybe politics also really becoming very, very much serious for us and our neighbors here. So I believe that is something that we are also going to be letting you know of when the right time comes, maybe of who exactly will be aspiring against Kagame at the end of the day, who may also really want to maybe take over the position. That is something really we shall be able to also let you know of at the end of the day. So I believe we are going to be witnessing these elections also really to the last drop, as we shall be able to keep you informed of what is happening right in Rwanda there. So just like Rwanda, these are our neighbors, and we shall be able to sort of interest ourselves with the affairs happening in the other country there, because at the end of the day, really, people may also really want to know how maybe these elections have gone, and that is one reason also really, as the viewer, you need to also really stay tuned to watching Western television each and every mornings from Mondays to Fridays. That would also really, at the end of the day, help you know of what is happening. So I think that is one reason I also want to make that call on. Really also for you to remain very, very much important to watching Western television there. That is also really very, very much key for you to also really be in the know of what is happening right from the region, because really if you do not know what is happening, maybe right from the Western sub-region to the country level and also international, because we are also really part of the East African community, just like how Rwanda is. That is why it is very, very much important for you to be part of this show there. My name is FARISH Majid. We are going to be going for another short commercial break, and when we return back, we still have lots more. In case you're just joining us right now, please stay tuned. And really, you also are very, very much welcome there as we continue with the show. Up the hour 9, and remember at 9, we shall be having the news bulletin in Lubarati. That's with Fete Emmanuel, as he will be able to let you know of maybe what happened over the weekend, also really maybe what is happening right now, also what maybe that could have happened in the mornings, which you don't know. So I think that is one reason also for the Lubaras. You need to be waiting for Fete Emmanuel to come through with the news bulletin. And then the Lembangea for the loudspeakers will be coming through at midday. That is why it is also very, very much important for you to be part of the show there. My name is FARISH Majid. Stay tuned as we bounce back shortly from now.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
52 games live only on Star Times. Star Times brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your Star Times subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. Star Times, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. This is still the Kokoliriko live show on West Nile Television, and really from wherever you chose to watch us from, we say thank you so much, and really also those who may be watching us for the very first time. This is the Kokoliriko live show that comes your ways on this television, that is from Mondays to Fridays, starting right from the hour of 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. And this is where we also let you know of the information happening right in the corridors of current affairs, and that is one reason you need to also be part of that show each and every Mondays to Fridays. And remember at 9, the news bulletin in Lubarati comes through. That is with Fete Emmanuel, and also the team also ready to give you what is happening in the world of Lubarati there. And remember at midday, also the Lembangea team also is going to be giving you the news bulletin in Alur language. And then for those of you who speak English, at 7 p.m. the Nilecast News Bulletin plus other programs may also really follow in the due course of the day, and that is one reason also really you need to be part of the show, because also really, as if you can be part of the show and the television at large, you are going to be also really having yourselves getting to know a lot of issues here and there, as also really some of the programs are there to keep you entertained. And really remember, the Street Talk will also really will be coming through, and really this is one reason also really you need to be part of the show. And later on in the day, the Chuku Chuku will also really be coming through, where you're going to be getting information that is maybe in the world of gossip, maybe celebrity news. I really believe they are also really going to be doing that with you, because it being maybe from the weekend, there is definitely a lot that they have packaged and also really compiled for you there, maybe happening in the world of entertainment, maybe which celebrity in terms of which celebrity has done what. Maybe what has happened to any of the celebrities over the weekend. But really, I must say, on a sad note, one of the family, that's the Mayanja family, also really did lose their elder brother. That is Humphrey Mayanja, who is the eldest brother of the Chameleons. And the ways out there, really, we must also really say that this is something also really that happened over the weekend after battling a long period of illness there. But I believe we must also really continue praying with that family there, so that they also get strong. And really also really, this is the second brother they are losing, really, which I must say is very, very much sad for them there. But we believe everything is happening for a reason, and that's all God's arrangements, because God is the one who really plans and maybe also really wants what to happen at what period and at what time. Really, we also really have no way to judge him, because definitely we cannot also really judge God's decision, because if he says it is your time, definitely nobody out there is going to be saying, why has that happened? Really, this is one reason. As I must say, maybe if anything of that sort happens to you, we need to accept, because that is the reality. Death is a reality, and it is one thing that we cannot sort of run away from. And moving away from that, now let's head to Zombo, and really where A to Z Development Circle Limited holds its first annual general meeting. Really, it's something also really where we didn't see this meeting going on. Really, I must tell you that so many times we have a number of agencies, a number of organizations, really a number of maybe entities that cannot really also hold that is their annual general meetings. But really for this one to hold, because at the end of the day, these annual general meetings have an important message maybe also packaged in them, and they also really come with a lot, because this is where you are going to make an assessment of maybe the progress within the organization, maybe in terms of maybe how you have been faring. Because really, if you realize that at the end of the day you have not been doing much, really also really maybe in terms of self, maybe in terms of also really a number of issues, because at the end of the day it is going to be through the annual general meeting where these loopholes are going to be addressed, at the end of the day, also really plans maybe to be drawn to see to that they also really draw these plans very, very much bigger for the next year, because an annual general meeting, which to me is very, very much important for any other person out there to also maybe any other organization to ensure that they also really participate in, and in a bid to provide diverse, affordable products and services that guarantee competitive returns to local community and members through mobilization of savings, education, and sound management. A to Z Development Circle held their annual general meeting today. That was at Zeu Sub-County Hall, with its members both attending physically and online. This is something I must say what we wanted to witness, because really for those who were not able to also really be part of that meeting physical there, we are told that they were also really attending, that is via online platforms, which to me is very, very good. And for me, I believe there was no reason for any other person to miss this meeting, for instance, where it was also giving a platform for both online and physical attendance there. So I believe that is one reason. So it is very, very much important for people to also really ensure that they be part of this annual general meeting there. And during the annual general meeting, Professor Edward Kumakech, the chairman, board development circles, outlined the achievements and challenges of the circle, and this is where the members also really will be able to understand and sit down with the rest of the colleagues and understand maybe how the circle is doing, because really if at all these annual general meetings are not there, definitely we are going to be seeing also really a lot of issues happening here and there. And remember recently, one time I was attending the Border Association meeting. One of the allegations that led to the ousting of the chairman, who is now back, was the issue of the failure to organize annual general meetings. So I think annual general meetings are very good for any other association out there to also really ensure that they also really address the members. This is where the board and the committees also can be able to tell the members also really of how the organization is doing, because most of the times, these members who are not also really very, very much active with the organization will not also have time to interact with the rest of the colleagues. And these annual meetings, I believe, play a crucial role in terms of idea sharing, because really once we have maybe platforms for exchanging ideas, for sharing ideas here and there, that is very good, because at the end of the day, if people do not sit down and really amicably resolve some of the issues, we may see these organizations also really not achieving very, very much there. So I believe these issues of maybe also the issues of these annual general meetings is very, very much important. At the end of the day, they also create a platform for the members also to sit down with the rest of the colleagues in terms of addressing these ideas, and I believe that is the way to go for the members out there to also really ensure that they also really avoid some of these tendencies, because really if that is not done so, definitely we may also really see these issues going on and on there. And meanwhile, Amy Onyuthun, a member of the circle, said part of the surplus of the savings to be used for mobilization about is the progress of the circle. Really, that is something also really we must say happened over right in that circle, that annual general meeting there, and I believe that is the way to go, because annual general meetings, if not really also really observed here and there, that would also really leave the members also really not knowing of what is happening right with the maybe with the association there. And really the way to go is also really letting the members know of what is happening through the annual general meetings there. And he tasked really the management of SACCO to be responsible, that is for training of the employees, so that they can also really be acquainted with the rules and regulations, not forgetting the ethics of financial institutions. And really this is one reason also really it is very, very much important, because then you realize that these circles also really, once the members are not addressed, once the members are not sensitized, once the members are not educated about certain goals, definitely we may also really see them also really be behaving very, very much badly there. So I believe this is the way to go, and really ensuring that these people also really be part of these games here. Maybe also this training here, it would be very, very much important and really very, very much paramount for them to also really understand why they are induced into this circle, because sometimes people are into these circles, but really they don't understand why they are into these circles. And really that is one thing also really I want to say for each and everybody out there now needs to be part of these circles, and really for them to also really understand why they are into these circles. It is very, very much important for these annual meetings to come through, because it is through these annual meetings where each and every member is compulsory to attend, where these issues can be amicably addressed there by the members. Maybe also those who are lead also really can also really be able to also really address these issues there, because today you realize that this circle also really face a lot of challenges. For instance, the issues of financial literacy, where some of the members may not be able to sort of really understand the usage of money, and maybe also really why it is very, very much important for them actually to borrow these loans from these circles, and why they're into these circles. Sometimes people do not understand why they're into these circles. And I believe through these such initiatives of the annual general meetings, it is why they will be able to also understand why they're into these organizations, which to me at the end of the day will be very, very much important for them. At the end of the day also really, for them to understand why they're into these circles and why they need to continue being part of this membership of the circle, and also why they need to save, because sometimes people not do savings because they feel they join the circle, and really once the circle members do not come out and tell them maybe why they're into these circles, we cannot see members of the circle groups also really lagging behind in terms of also really ensuring that they also really part of these circles here. And I believe that is the way to go, which would also really be very, very much important for the members there to also really ensure that they take part, also really become part of the circles, because today we have seen the circles playing a great role in terms of elevating poverty out of the masses, because really these circles also really we have seen them also really bringing monies where today we see a lot of maybe money being saved today. For instance, let's say we donate and save for me. Next time it will also be saved and given to a colleague. And all this at the end of the day help empower the members of the community through getting money for themselves, which to me is the way to go. And I believe that is also very, very much important for people to also really ensure that they also really become part of the circles here. And for you who is out there watching us right now, and you're not a member, you are not a member of the circle, I want to make this appeal to you to join one of the circles now, as it is through the circles that you will also really be able to realize why you need to save money. And the only way to save money, which may also be maybe very difficult through the banks, also really maybe through other institutions, other financial institutions, also really could be able to realized that is through the circles. And I believe maybe for you who is not yet into a circle, maybe who has not joined also any circle member, and you have not yet maybe also embraced the issues of saving your monies with the financial institutions, let's say the banks, you need to also really now ensure that you join the circles. Now, as it is through the circles that you are going to be saving monies. So I think it is very, very much important for people out there to ensure that they be part of the circles. And A to Z, also Development Circle Limited was established, that was in January 2022. And is fully registered with Ministry of Cooperatives. That is one of the reasons, so really it is very, very much important there for people to also really ensure that they be part of these circle groups. And Gabriel Onenchan, the manager of this circle, remarked that over 276 registered members at the end of the last year, that was 2023. Today we are realizing that 267 members, which is really quite good there. And I believe this is one reason also people need to embrace other circles. And this is in Zombo, and now we want to also really see maybe such circles also really be established in the other local governments. For instance, we want to see it in Arua district. We want to see such in Arua city. We want to see such in Maracha. We would want to see such maybe also in Terego and the rest of the local governments within West Nile sub-region, really such that also really we realize the issues of poverty, maybe the poverty song becoming history there, because today we are also being told that we are a poor nation, we are a poor region. But I believe the issues of financial literacy, more so that when how maybe government is trying to elevate people out of poverty, for instance, with the initiatives of the PDM, the Myoga, and the Grow plus other projects which are already in the pipeline, also to see that people take advantage of these programs. And really the way to go maybe about these projects is through financial literacy, because once you're giving somebody maybe money without also really empowering them through the financial literacy, then you are not going to be doing something very, very much important. You may also be doing the service, because this person may get the money and just go drink it, like how we have seen people also misusing the PDM money in the rest of the government, or maybe in some of the local governments within Western sub-region here. Because recently I was in Maracha, we had revelations of how people borrowed this PDM money just to drink money, and others have used the money for marriages. And really we have also seen some of the wives being called PDM, and we now have children called the PDM, so which is really quite unfortunate, because today we are seeing some of the mothers being called Mama PDM, and that means that they actually borrowed the money and they became rich for 1 week, and really within the 1 week we are able to see them actually marrying off, which is really quite unfortunate. So I think that is why it is very, very much important for people to embrace the issues of these maybe circles, because it is through the circles that people are going to be getting knowledge also in terms of financial literacy, because these circles play a great role, first of all, in training their members on what to do, and also idea sharing, because it helps bring a lot of people together. Really, this is where we also see people sharing ideas, and this is one reason. So we have seen the women today also really becoming very, very much also really supported, and also really getting empowered through the money. So I think that it is also coming from the circles, where these women share ideas, but really sometimes also really circles have become very, very much bad, where women also really are taking advantage of, maybe also really are doing a lot of savings here, and then from the monies their husbands are giving, really that is one thing. It's very, very much why it is very, very much unfortunate. That's the disadvantage, more so with women who are not working, but really they have to be part of the circles and really realize that a woman is a member of more than 3 circles, and all this money, all these circles weekly at least have to ensure that their money that really is, there's money that is taken there as savings, which is really, I must say, could be also really causing a lot of problems within the families, where women do a lot of commission, really, which to me is very, very much bad. But I believe circles are good despite all the negative maybe challenges it has come with, and I believe the positives are more than the negatives. But really the question should go to the women who are really doing a lot of commission on the money that is being given to them, which would also really come with its own negative repercussions, because really you are going to be seeing a lot of savings where maybe money that was meant for buying food is really not properly utilized there. And I believe that is one reason also really women need to desist from such tendencies, and that could also be the negative disadvantage of this, maybe this circles there. And remember, this annual general meeting was attended by so many dignitaries, among whom included that is Naftali Ochamagiu, the LCT of Zombo Town Council, Rupini Muzugabas, the Director of Communications of the Uganda Investment Authority, retired Colonel, that's Jasper Abeka, Wankan Alfred, Chairman, Supervisory Committee, that's A to Z Development Circle, online members from across the globe, and many other members who actually we are part of this organization there. And I believe that is the way to go. And I believe that is a plus for them, which would also really work very, very much important for them there. And I believe they have also really learned a lot of maybe goals from that meeting there. And I believe this meeting could also really have its own positives, and also to the members, because this is where maybe the members are going to be identifying the progress of the circle, which to be is the way to go. Because if at all people do not also really know why they enter that circle, definitely that would also really be very, very much unfortunate there, and they could also really be able to lag behind in terms of also really ensuring that they also really maybe utilize a lot of issues here and there. So I believe this circle, maybe this annual general meeting could have yielded fruits. And for those who are not maybe initially part of the circles, you need to also now ensure that you join the circles, so that at the end of the day you are going to ensure that your money is maybe is saved, because really it is through the circles that maybe money is saved throughout the year, that at the end of the day you are also really going to be earning something small. So I believe that is something that's a plus for those members there who are also really part of these circles there, to also really ensure that they also really get something small. And really that I believe that at the end of the day would also really be very, very much good for them there. And really that is something also really I want to say people need to take advantage of for those who are not yet as members of the circles there. And I believe if at all we take advantage of that, definitely that would also really be very, very much important for us to also really elevate our lives out of poverty, because poverty continues to remain a disease that is our something also really, if at all we take seriously, definitely we may also see to it that we also really become circles can do very, very much in terms of elevating maybe poverty out of there. And moving on from that, now let's head to South Africa, where ex-President is said to be hit by a drunk driver, which is really very, very much ironic there. And how was he maybe moving? And that is something also we need to understand. But really, as you, who is a driver, who is errantly driving on these roads here, how do you knock a former president? That is something really, I must say, is quite ironic and happening right maybe in South Africa. And South Africa's former president, Jacob Zuma, was involved in a car crash, but really remained unhurt. That is the good part of it, and that's the good news. And this is, according to information from there, indicates that a drunk driver collided with his official armored state vehicle on Thursday evening, and this is according to information from police. But a leading member of Mkoto Sizwe party alleged that he had been targeted. Really, also that's something also really we did see happening there, because somebody out there is doubting already that he could have targeted. That this accident could be maybe planned, but I don't know. I really do not know, because I'm not in South Africa. But I believe that accident by the governing African National Council, and is campaigning for the MK ahead of May's general election. That's something also we are seeing, maybe why he may also really be targeted there. And Mr. Zuma was in the car alongside with his official protection team when it was hit on the road that is in his home province, that is of KwaZulu-Natal, about that is 1840 local time, that is say 7:40 East African time here on Thursday. Really, that's something also we did see happening there. And the 51-year-old man was arrested for drunk driving, also happening right in South Africa there. And really, as you, somebody who is out there, how do you know maybe a former head of state, really, how don't you even really identify that this is a vehicle that is armored? Really, that is something also really we need to also really investigate, because really, as you who is somebody out there, how do you know a former head of state? Really, I think that is something which we must say is very, very much unfortunate, and really did go on there. And I believe that is something that we could have also really going to talk about, because if we do not talk about this, then definitely we may also really see a lot of these issues happening. Even it could maybe also happen to our former head of states. Really, I don't know if we still have any. Maybe one of any of our, maybe our former, maybe presidents. Really, I don't think if we still have any in Uganda. What we have is just one. Really, I believe that is something also. Really, maybe how lucky we are. We are having one. Really, one president, and really, since growing up, we know one. That is one thing also. Really, we must also really say is happening, and really, that is our difference. Maybe with South Africa, for them they are still having maybe former head of state, and really for us we don't have. Maybe who is still continuing to live alive up to now. And maybe also that could be maybe an indication that God loves us. God has given us maybe a strong man who is still in place, and really who is still very much vividly doing in terms of also really trying to see that there's development in this country. And really that brings us to another short commercial break as we bounce back shortly from now. And remember, when we bounce back, we are going to be summarizing the discussion with what is happening maybe in the world of sports. And remember, yesterday a number of games were played. Definitely we are going to be letting you maybe know the results as we bounce back. Stay tuned to watching Western Television. This is the Kokoliriko live show, and my name is FARISH Majid. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Star Times! Star Times brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your Star Times subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. Star Times, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that break as we now want to summarize the discussion with what is happening in the world of sports. And to begin off with the athletics, Kiplimo delivers cross-country hat-trick for Uganda. That is something really we did see happening over the weekend. Kenya's Benson Kiplagat took bronze and 2 seconds adrift of Aragwai Cheptegei. Finished a disappointing 6th, really also in the position of 6th there and 15 seconds off his compatriots' winning time. And that's something really we did see happening in the world of athletics there. And really we also really want to congratulate him as Uganda. We are very proud of him to see that also really we win that there in the world of athletics, because one of the games that really raises our flag very, very much high is said to be athletics. And now coming back to West Nile sub-region, where we did see a number of games also really being played right from the other week to last week. I now want to say the districts now know maybe the representatives that will be able to represent their various local governments or districts. Maybe the regionals are now confirmed, because we did see at least those that we have been waiting. For instance, Koboko and Moyo, whom we had been waiting eagerly to see maybe where the winners will be coming through, also really did going over the weekend there, where we did see Moyo Komboni Comprehensive emerging as Juma District, I beg your pardon, where we did see Komboni Comprehensive emerging as champions of Juma District football games there. Also, really, this is something also we did see happening over the weekend. And the finals of Juma District post-primary games, that's for 2024, successfully ended with Komboni Comprehensive emerging as the champions after defeating, that is Nyumanzi SS by 3-1, while handing over the trophy. That is Honorable Anyama Ben, the district chairman, also really was the guest of honor, thanked the schools who participated in the tournament and asked them to continue with the good behavior showed during the games there. And really this comes after we did witness a lot of maybe fights happening here and there, unlike ours in Narrow City, which was also marred by violence, which I must say now this is not the same case that could have happened maybe elsewhere in Adjumani. But I must say this, at least in Adjumani, there was some bit of also maybe some peace. But really also we did see in Koboko, the games also really ending, that is peacefully there now. We are waiting to see now how the regionals maybe shall be able to commence, and maybe which teams will be able to represent us at the nationals. That is also why it is very, very much important. Remember, these districts, maybe these schools that are maybe one in their districts, are now going to also really play amongst themselves at the national scene, and this is where they will also really be identifying the next winners. That is also really to see to it that also really they represent their various districts at maybe at the national level, and the region of West Nile sub-region will be able to be represented by the winners, who will be also maybe put a competitive play there at the regional levels. And that is why it is very, very much important for these teams that have qualified not to really remain there, but rather they have to continue training. That to me would also really make it very, very much important for them there to see that they also really win maybe the regional leagues here. And Emmanuel Fungaro, the district sports officer at Adman District, said the competition for this year was highly competitive and appreciated all the stakeholders for their effort in making sure that the games end successfully and really without cases of impersonation, and blames their teachers for such instances where we have also really been witnessing where some players have been brought from other schools also to see to it that they play for their schools, which we really did not witness a lotly really also in our schools within Arua City. But really I believe this can also really have negative, maybe serious punishments. That is why head teachers who are known for this act need to desist from such acts, because at the end of the day that is something that's against the laws. And Zema Dominic, head coach, that's Komboni Comprehensive, said his players were always ready and determined. That is why they were able to win the trophy. So I think that is something also we did witness there. And the West Nile regional football competitions regionals. For secondary school will be hosted by Koboko district this year. So I think that's where we're going to be witnessing the regionals for this year. And remember, last year we were taken to Germany, and really where we did witness a number of also display happening there. But I believe this year it being moved to Koboko, we are going to be witnessing a better game. So I believe we are going to be witnessing a better game, because really last year we did witness a number of issues of where our bowlers encountered a number of challenges while they are moving. The issues of ferry here and there were delays. I believe now they are not going to be having all these challenges. Now what next? That is definitely something also really we shall be able to really let you know of. And yesterday we also did have a game that was really said to be highly contested. That is between Bright Stars and Gaddafi, where the game ended, that is 4-0 in favor of, that is, Bright Stars, where Senka took a brace, really scored a brace, really also for his team there to see that he returns to winning ways. And I believe that is something really could be able to also really maybe raise Bright Stars from where they are to a real position which we really think that really they are going to be winning, and really maybe also really competing for the league there. At the end of the day, we would also want to see Bright Stars doing something also really just like the rest of their, maybe there are other competitors, because we have so many teams that are competing to also really see that they remain. That's that they sometimes going to Premier League next season, because today the battle maybe also is getting very much tighter, because today at least they are going to be relegating 2 teams following the drop, that is of Arua Hill Sports Club there. And now which other teams would wish to go back down? That is something also really we are going to be seeing there, and that is how the league is actually getting interesting. And I remember with the few games remaining, we are going to be following and letting you know what exactly happens, and then maybe which team is going to be dropping points, because at this time we don't expect teams to be dropping points, because if you drop maybe points right now, definitely it could be able to really affect you there. And yesterday, it being a weekend also, we witnessed a number of interesting games at the international scene, that is at the English Premier League, where we did see Liverpool moving on top of the table after the 2-1 win over, that is, Brighton and Hove Albion. And Brighton took the lead. That was in the second minute after scoring that goal there through, that is, Danny Welbeck, and Liverpool came through to equalize this goal, that is through Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz there, and this gave them the 2-1 lead, really to see that they also really returned back to winning ways and really also go back on top of the table. And Arsenal now is in the second place after the draw yesterday against Manchester City at Etihad Stadium, which ended really 0-0 there. And I believe that is also how the league is getting very much interesting, and somebody was expecting maybe the table to also really change here and there, and really, yes, it did change, where we did see Liverpool moving now by a difference of just 2 points. And Arsenal comes in the second place. Really also that is something also really we did see happening right in the world of the English Premier League there. And I believe Owen Ezaga through Linda Suzy will be coming through with the whistle time to also really let you know, have more analysis and comprehensive details on as far as how these games went there. And that is why it is very, very much important also for you as the viewer to remain watching West Nile Television. That is maybe starting from the hour of 2 to 3 p.m. That is where they will be giving you more details of what is happening in the world of sports. For now, I step out, leaving that is the way for the AOL as a news team. And in a special way, I want to appreciate you who watched us right from the time we began until this hour of the morning. We say thank you so much as we bounce back for tomorrow's edition of the same show. My name is FARISH Majid. I step out leaving the studios for the next part to come through. That's with the news bulletin. Thank you.